We have commissioned a series of policy papers to provide a backdrop to the work of the Code. Recently, we released a singularly important paper on productive economies. Our ambition in this is to do three things. Firstly, in an objective way, to establish the best trends and prospects for the economy of the state and its regions and its different places. Secondly, we want to ask how planning and the use of land can maximise the investment and economic potential of the state. And thirdly, we then want to say, how can the new Code provide the assessment and policy framework to support those aims? So 3 points. Where are our prospects best? What can planning do? And how can the Code help to realise that potential? So for example, we know that we have a commitment to a massive investment in defence industries and the creation of a submarine industry in the state. That in itself will trigger a series of related investments. We know from planning practice that this will cause clustering of related industries and supply chains who want to coexist within the defence precinct that emerges. We then have to say, where might that be? And there is an obvious answer that the northwestern suburbs of Adelaide, where we have substantial industrial land, established infrastructure, strong access facilities by port, rail and road, is the obvious place in which investment will gravitate towards. So for the Code, the questions we would ask would be, how can we provide the best environment for existing warehouses, factories and facilities to be adapted and reused for this new environment? If we had innovations precinct, what kinds of flexibilities might assist in drawing investment into those places? Beyond zones, can we think of ways in which not only land use controls but related infrastructure might be adapted in a timely way to support that investment? This same flow of logic applies into the dramatic changes that are occurring in the hinterland, in the northern and southern suburbs and in the Adelaide Hills, where we have intensive forms of agriculture, horticulture and related industries now making vastly new industries which we wouldn't have conceived even 10 or 15 years ago. In the regions of the state, we are seeing extraordinary investments in alternative energy, especially in the north, the Riverland and some areas in the Murray-Mallee. We expect mining and exploration to be extended substantially in the near to medium term. Again, when we think through the geography in which this is going to be applied, we need to go further and say, how can the Code maximise the potential of these opportunities? In doing so, we don't pretend to be writing the economic strategy of the state. That is not our job, and there are a whole range of things that are not state-based. Tariffs and trade controls, relationships with other countries, monetary policy, fiscal policy and the like. However, we can ask the question precisely, in managing the use of our land and the related infrastructure around it, how can we position South Australia best against the opportunities we can see? So what do we ask of you? We ask you, firstly, to take an interest. Secondly, if you're stimulated by the content, please come to the forums associated with this. And thirdly, and most importantly, tell us what you think.